Alrighty guys, so we just passed the Golden Gate, Alcatraz, and now we're pulling into the ferry building. So this is all the gold rush seekers would have done this too, right? Coming around Cape Horn there, or the Isthmus and Caribbean, because there's two routes. Go from like New York City all the way down around South America, past Cape Horn there near Chile, and then come back up San Francisco, and then you would end up in the ferry building, and then from here you'd be setting out to the gold fields into the Sierras. Go make your pile. And people came from Chile, they came from Hawaii, Mexico, all over, guys. All over the world. It's the first big rush, 1849. San Francisco ferry building. Port of San Francisco. Just in the Embarcadero right now. Ferry building. San Francisco ferry building. All these little shops and things like that. Look at the architecture though, it's nice. These old buildings, man, the stonework, the architecture. That was really cool. Alrighty guys, we're just walking down California Street. So we took the cable car right up this big hill. San Francisco, a very hilly city. Now I'm just walking down. We're going to the Wells Fargo Museum. Wells Fargo, guys, banking. It's not really something that you'd think Prospector would be into, but it's actually very important, guys, because this is all about the gold rush and gold rush banking and how gold dust, gold nuggets was scaled and weighed, and how commerce worked back in the day, right? Because you used to pay for everything with gold. Paper money was not a thing, and even when it was, people didn't like to take it a lot because it just doesn't have any value. Legal tender. Read on the back of the bill, it says this money is legal tender. It means you and me, we agree that this $20 bill is $20, and therefore it's $20, right? But it doesn't actually have any real value. The value is, gold, silver, assets, right? Like timber, meat, grain, stuff like that. And gold is a great way to pay for these goods and services as a means of like actually scaling payments and stuff, understanding like how much something is worth what relative to something else. Alrighty guys, Wells Fargo Museum. Pony Express Western Terminus, number 3. This third site was on the northwest corner of Montgomery and California Streets, starting on April 15th, 1861. All Pony Express mail departed or arrived from here under the leadership of Wells Fargo & Co. The Pony Express was put out of business when the Transcontinental Telegraph line was completed on October 24th, 1861 in Salt Lake City. After 19 and a half months, the residual Pony Express mail arrived on November 20th, 1861. In 1852, Wells Fargo Company began serving pioneers in Gold Rush, California, and soon ran stagecoach and express networks across the nation. Sending money and valuables the Fargo way was a promise that customers' business would be handled with care and on time. The Wells Fargo lines, guys. So you can see, guys, the dotted lines. That's all steamships, right? So see San Francisco? It all comes out of San Francisco, guys. San Francisco's the shipping hub. The black lines are the trains, and the red lines are the stagecoach routes. And so we've got Montana, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and California. This was all Mexico. Colton's pocket map of the eastern United States and Canada showed travelers the railroad, canal, and stagecoach routes available. Gold scales. Gold equaled money, and buying gold demanded precision instruments. Wells Fargo used brass balance scales to accurately weigh gold, coins, and bullion. Government mints produced coins worth their weight in gold. A $20 coin contained just under 1 troy ounce of gold. Yeah, guys would be shaving their weights too, so you have to watch out for that. So they'd take the weights and they'd shave them, and then it would cause problems. As part of being a good prospector, was when you go to get your assay, your ore samples, your stuff assayed and paid out, right? Knowing how to the values of things, the weights, everything, knowing, kind of having your own system, right? Some guys did. So just kind of cool to note, guys, because these weights you see here, these, so they were talking about how the coins could have been shaved. If you've got shaved weights as well as shaved coins, then it's going to look like it's fine, but it's not. The banjo clock. Wells Fargo used fine clocks manufactured by E. Howard and Company of Boston in the 1850s. John Allen trusted Wells Fargo to express 1,500 in gold dust from the mining camp of Rattlesnake to the new U.S. Mint in San Francisco and promptly return an equal amount in coins. When miners and merchants wished to send money to San Francisco, the eastern states, or Europe, Wells Fargo provided the solution. Paper bills of exchange offered a safe and convenient way to send money long distances. Customers purchased bills of exchange with gold or coins at a Wells Fargo office. Agents filled out duplicate or triplicate copies and forwarded each by different mails to guard against loss. These exchanges could be easily converted to coin or currency at Wells Fargo Banking branch in New York, or its East Coast and European correspondents who paid the first copy to arrive and canceled the others. Guarding gold. Robbers found Wells Fargo treasure boxes too tempting to resist. While alert stagecoach drivers and armed shotgun messengers prevented most attempt, highway bandits occasionally succeeded in stealing treasure boxes filled with gold and valuables. Whenever a robbery did occur, Wells Fargo agents near the scene of the crime reported the incident to local law enforcement and company headquarters. Agents determined losses, gathered evidence, organized pursuit, and offered rewards. From 1870 to 1884, Wells Fargo recorded 347 robberies and attempted robberies on treasure shipped by stagecoach and train. From 1875 to 1883, one notorious robber robbed 27 stagecoaches in 28 attempts across Northern California and Southern Oregon. This lone-masked highwayman would appear suddenly on lonely stage roads, point a shotgun at the driver and command, "Throw down the box." His one failed robbery came in 1882 when he encountered Wells Fargo shotgun messenger George Hackett, who gave Black Bart a volley of a buckshot rather than gold. And there you go. This is Wells Fargo Special Agent James B. Hume carried a heavy revolver with a shortened barrel. Wells Fargo presented Stephen Vennard with his fine Henry rifle. An engraved silver plate on the stock depicts a scene in which Vennard shot 3 outlaws who held up a stage and robbed Wells Fargo treasure box of $7,900. Banknotes wore out quickly and were easily counterfeited. Value depended entirely upon the reputation of the banks issuing them, and the farther a paper dollar traveled from its place of origin, the less likely anyone would recognize the bank's name or feel confident in accepting the note at face value. Americans needed a uniform national currency. In 1863, President Lincoln signed the National Currency Act, creating standardized banknotes backed by government bonds, a system of national banks to issue them, and the office of the controller of the currency to regulate national banks. First National Bank of Philadelphia received the very first National Bank Charter, number 1, on June 20th, 1863. Wells Fargo Bank currently operates under this historic charter. Assayer Augustus Humbert produced California's most distinctive privately minted coin, an octagonal $50 ingot containing 2.5 troy ounces of gold. Humbert's United States Assay Office of Gold also struck $10 and $20 coins. Westerners wanted their paper money to be redeemable in gold. In 1870, Congress chartered 9 national gold banks in California whose notes could be exchanged for gold. After January 1st, 1879, gold backed all U.S. currency. Until the 1860s, individual banks printed paper money, useful only within the bank's town. From 1862 to 1875, the U.S. Treasury issued fractional currency to relieve shortages of coins. Fractional currency remains legal tender today. Coins were scarce in early America. Pennsylvania and other colonies issued paper currency in British shillings and pounds. Anti-counterfeiting measures included paper embedded with reflective mica chips and colored threads. In the 1840s, Henry Wells pioneered an express business offering swift delivery. So yeah, Wells and Fargo, guys. Two bankers. Through the 1840s, people in the express business in New York State, Henry Wells and William G. Fargo, John Butterfield, Crawford Livingston, and others formed and reformed companies. Sometimes they completed and sometimes they worked for each other. On March 18, 1850, Wells, Butterfield, and Fargo joined together as the American Express Company. Henry Wells and William G. Fargo both signed this American Express stock certificate. Now we're going to go do the gold rush, the California gold rush. Apparently there's a little bit of the California gold rush up here, so see what we got here. Metal to money. The assay process established a period of gold dust and nuggets and determined the amount of gold present in ore samples. The assayer did this by subjecting gold samples to chemical and heat tests. Once the work of a reputable assayer was complete, the gold was almost as good as money. Set of gold scales. Pay no more for gold dust than it's worth, nor make any arrangements with anyone to pay less than it's worth. This is the only true motto to do any kind of business on. It is the course we pursue here. Not real. Yeah, clearly. Gold, silver, copper. Wells Fargo agent George Crockett used this touchstone to test gold. When he rubbed on black flint, gold specimens left color streaks. These helped Crockett evaluate purity and value of gold. Wells Fargo customers could send a gold bar to a U.S. Mint in San Francisco and wait for coins in return, or accept the assay value for intermediate payment in gold coins. So you gotta have good assaying, guys, because if you don't assay your stuff properly, you don't know the purity, and then it's no good. Troy ounce. Most of the United States measures precious metals in troy ounces, 12 ounces per pound. Therefore, an ounce of gold weighs more than an ounce of salt. The rest of the world uses metric grams. 1 troy ounce equals 31.1 grams. And then the gold rush, guys. California gold. Hydraulic monitor. So this is water monitoring. We talked about that in Likely. Make sure you check my Likely video out. Barkerville. So they did that. Hydraulic mining. Gold rush. On January 24th, 1848, James Marshall discovered a nugget of gold while building a sawmill in the Sierra Foothills. Marshall's find at Sutter's Mill spurred one of the greatest migrations in human history. Gold drew thousands of people who came by land and sea to California from all over the world. Some undertook the journey in search of freedom, while others sought relief from disease and famine in foreign lands. The gold rush meant wealth for a few and ruin for many. But what everyone saw in California was opportunity. These new Californians blended together entrepreneurship, culture, technology, in ways still felt in the Golden State today. The first mention of the gold discovery at Sutter's Mill in a San Francisco newspaper on March 15, 1848. The story didn't attract much attention initially, but by the summer, gold fever raged. Businesses closed as workers rushed off to the gold fields and ships abandoned by sailors who jumped ship to dig for gold. As surface placer gold deposits were mined out, gold seekers turned to more expensive and complex hydraulic and hard rock mining. The California cradle, guys. This is a rocker box. So you just put your dirt in here, rock it back and forth, right? And it would get gold. Initially, individual miners hoped to strike it rich, but as gold became harder to find, more expensive to extract, industrial mining companies took over. Backed by investment capital, these companies employed intensive mining techniques to separate a few ounces of gold from a ton of rock and soil. Hydraulic mining directed high-pressure streams of water onto gold-bearing hillsides, washing silt and debris downstream that clogged rivers and flooded farmland. California outlawed this efficient but environmentally destructive mining practice in 1884. Ooh, a Weld's on her. Little water monitor. And then gold pans, rocker box. A gold claim yielded an ounce of gold per day, valued at $16 to $17. Most miners found just enough gold to pay their living expenses in mining camps, where an egg typically costs $1, a haircut $4, and a pair of boots $50. Oh, this is all different gold recovered from different areas. Hangtown, China Bar, Tulum River, Mariposa Creek, Oak Valley, Sailor Creek, Trinity Bar, Deer Creek, Calaveras, Kanaka Bar, South Fork, American River, Rouge River, City of Gold. In 1849, San Francisco grew from a quiet port into a gold rush boomtown as thousands of fortune seekers arrived by sea. Most of the 49ers went straight to the gold fields, but others stayed to make their fortunes in the city. These San Francisco pioneers built homes and businesses and established a diverse community where people of all nations mingled with a common goal, striking it rich. Competition in the California goldfields led to discrimination. State legislature passed foreign miners tax, requiring all miners who were not U.S. citizens to pay a license to continue digging for gold. This foreign miner's license cost Jacob Wolf $4 per month in 1855. Gold seekers from all over the world sailed through the Golden Gate in San Francisco Bay and docked in the boomtown created by gold fever. Commerce and communication revolved around steamships which sailed between San Francisco and Panama twice monthly. On steamer day, business owners rushed to settle accounts, bank and express companies sold exchange and prepared bullion shipments, and everyone posted letters for home. Excited crowds gathered to greet inbound steamers bringing mail and the latest news. Henry Wells witnessed steamer day excitement firsthand while visiting San Francisco in 1853 and observed, "Not a man sleeps the night before the steamer leaves. 2/3 of all our drafts are drawn after lamps are lit on the last night." At the Isthmus of Panama, passengers and cargo made the 50-mile trip overland to a steamer awaiting them on the other side. That was the other route I was talking about. The Isthmus, the Panama Isthmus, this route here. You gotta go, the other one was you gotta go around Cape Horn. That took even longer, or you go overland. And then the Sidewinders. Okay guys, so we're coming to the end of this one. That was really good. Really good museum. Alrighty guys, so that's gonna be it. It's a pretty cool place. Wells Fargo guys, banking. Definitely come check it out one time or another. See you guys on the next one.